wanna see me mad. I'll be coming with that payback. You don't wanna taste that. Don't wanna see me on attack. Trust me, you don't wanna face that. Adrenaline, I crave that. Yeah, you know I'm nasty. I'm about to be a savage. When I want it, better have it. Nothing's getting past me. About to take this to the mat, and you'll be wishing you could take it back, yeah. Like an assassin, I'm praying. I gotta act on a craving. I'm coming after, I'm chasing. I'm gonna capture, erasing. Yeah, those who cross me, you'll be crossed off, cause I'm plotting. About to pop off, you can't stop me. Winning is exhausting, but I don't plan on stopping. As long as they keep talking, I got these bodies dropping. As long as they keep walking, I'll keep making deposits. They'll find out they can't stop it, cause they'll learn that I'm a prophet. Yo, I'm seeing all red. Got my vision blurry from the anger in my head. I'll never be second best. They gon' learn today what it feels to regret. You can't stop me now. The demons tearing out. Overcoming to the neck, 'cause I'm seeing all red. Vision blurry from the anger in my head. I'll never be second best. They gon' learn today what it feels to regret. You can't stop me now. The demons tearing out. Overcoming to the neck, 'cause I'm seeing all red. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact. 'Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Hello and welcome to my Mind Over Matter. My name is Rick, and let's get the show started. It's a little dark here tonight because it's I guess that's the mood that I'm in right now. It's a pretty dark mood. Um, it's gonna be a wild night. Only gonna get worse before it gets better. That's why I believe. Um, I believe the U.S. will get involved in what's going on between Iran and Israel. Um, it's gonna get dirty. Um, I hope they don't use a dirty bomb. That's I just hope that Iran doesn't get desperate and starts launching like hundreds, maybe more than hundreds, maybe thousands of missiles towards Israel at a given time. That would be really bad. That would be so bad if you have, let's say, 500 missiles coming at you at once. The Iron Dome cannot handle that. There's no way it can't handle that amount of firepower. And like I said, it only takes one nuclear weapon, one dirty bomb to escalate what's going on. There's already been a lot of lives lost, and from what I see, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. Um, Everyone in the world knows this. The U.S. is downplaying it. The media is downplaying it. The media is like, yeah, no, Trump has said that he's just gonna sit back and watch and not do anything. You don't know Trump, especially the media. The media spent how many years bashing Trump? How many years have they put Trump down and talk shit about Trump every single day, to the point that they call him a Nazi, they call him Hitler, they call him every name in the book. And they don't know Trump. They just don't know him. He's acting like the one, right? America's first. And America is the protector of the world. Um that's the truth. Um we are the protector of the world, and right now what Iran is doing is evacuating Tehran. They need to leave. And it's just because they picked up a lot of signals today, a lot of chatter and a lot of information will be passed back and forth, and it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good, and it's only going to get worse before it gets better, and I think we're living in a very unique time that we're very complicit, and we think that we're all safe. We believe that we're all safe at all times, and we're not. This is going to escalate within the United States. There are sleeper cells in the United States. They are agents that are here in the United States, and they will attack civilians here. They will kill a lot of people here. And the thing is that fucking Biden, man. I hope he has a horrible, really horrible death. I hope he like chokes to the point that he chokes and dies because of what he has done to this country and the neglect he rained upon us for the past 4 years really is going to hurt us in the long run. And my vision still stays the same. Stay away from large groups. Stay away from places of gatherings. Um, it's making me want to change my what I wanted to do this year around, because the places I was gonna pick, they're kind of like high target areas, and I don't think I want to put myself in that predicament to be in an area where it's a like a high target. Um, so I'm just staying away from certain areas and certain places. It's just, feel what's in your heart, feel what's in your mind. Let the voices in your head, listen to the voices in your head. Um, and my voices is telling me that something really big is happening, and I have a headache, you know. And I had a headache the past few weeks ago. I had it for like 3 4 days straight, and then all the craziness broke out, and I'm feeling that headache again. And that's the energy is super high, super high, to the point that I'm feeling it. And it could be the frequencies in the air. It could be a lot of energy that's projecting right now. Um, so many innocent lives are just gonna be. It's gonna be. Hmm. What's scary about it is that the surrounding areas, because you have Saudi Arabia that's right there. Dubai is in Saudi Arabia, so it's like you gotta Dubai needs to be on alert too, because Iran's gonna be pulling out some crazy shit, and they're gonna try to harm as many people as possible. If they're gonna go out, they're gonna go out with a bang. They're not just gonna go out with a whimper. They're gonna show maximum force, maximum like execution of these weapons. Like they're using hypersonic weapons, and not only that, but some high advanced weapons that we still don't know where the hell they're at. Like they shot it up in the sky, and it hasn't come down yet. That's scary, because that means that it could be anywhere in the world, and it could come down on anyone in the world. And if they have any ballistic missiles or any intercontinental missiles with warheads on it, oh man, and they're nuked warheads, oh man, the United States could be in for a rough patch if this is the case. And I think, because all the telltale signs points to something like that. Because why would Trump come up with the Golden Dome? Why are they pushing for a defense system to protect us from these type of weapons from hitting us? You just got to listen to all these politicians, and when they say, you just listen to them. And it seems like something big may happen, and you know Iran could say fuck it. If we're gonna die, then you know we're gonna take as many people with us. And they could go all out and just start attacking everybody and just start shooting at everybody. um Let me get the chat on my phone, because I had to take off my glasses. I can't see the television at all, so I can't even see what anybody wrote. So let me see if I can see it from my phone, because man, I got such a headache. Like it started like about an hour and a half ago. My headache. I was talking to Stephanie for a bit on the messenger there, and like I was thinking a lot, but then I started feeling like weirdness in my head, especially like in the back of my head. And there's this pressure. There's pressure on my head. It's like, man, am I witnessing history, and history is being documented every day that I'm alive right now, that to the point that people will be talking about this like hundreds of years in the future. Let me pull up the chat here. Hey, Albie, how you doing, Albie? I just noticed that you. I just checked here. It's Albie. Wow, it looks weird. How on my television, the it doesn't look the same like on my phone. Like on my phone, you can see more definition, and it looks like a black blob behind me. That's what it feels like. It's like the black like blob back here. Um, yeah. Damn, I gotta put my glasses on. I was getting a headache. But this is not going to be a long show. I'm just going to let you know it's going to be like an hour and I'm done because I'm going to be watching a lot of the news and seeing what's really going to transpire because, like I said, something really, really big is going to happen. And give me 1 second. I'll bring up some news so we can catch up on. Um, I'll try to bring up as a few videos here for us to watch. Let me see. Okay, at least Trump is pausing. It seems like Trump is pausing immigration arrests at farms and restaurants. So Trump is backing down from arresting individuals at farms and restaurants, which is it's not a bad thing. We could check that out in the news. We could check that out. I have the video here. Um, I hate CNN. I don't want to broadcast CNN for some reason. I just hate them. Ugh. I may just do it this time, but hold on. I'm still looking for the other videos that I wanted to share with you guys. That was older. This is Jerusalem skyline. No. Okay, I could bring this one up. I'm sorry. I would have had this ready, but I was really running late, and you can see the time that I started. It's not my normal time. I usually start like an hour and a half earlier, like around 8. But I had some stuff I had to take care, last minute stuff that I had to take care of. I went and put gas in the car again, just to top it off, because I had 3/4 of a tank. I just want to keep it at a full tank. Because don't know what happened. Remember, I live between Boston and New York City. If an intercontinental ballistic missile comes this way, let it go to New York and let it go to Boston. Don't let it come to Connecticut, which most likely it would come here just because we are the home of the submarines in Groton, Connecticut. And we have factories here that develops helicopters. And yeah, there's a lot of factories here, a lot of goody goodies. This one was an earlier report. We could probably see an earlier report because this one's from this morning. So I don't mind. I didn't see it, so we could watch it together. Okay, we could see this one here. These are shorter ones. So Trump is heading back to the White House. If he's probably already there. He's making his way into the Situation Room. He is getting ready for something big to happen tonight. Something big is going to happen. Is gonna change the fabric of our lives. Everyone is just so caught up in their lives and busy because they have to work and they have to like pay bills to live, and that's what keeps you busy and keeps you on that one track mind. But for those are like me that has the time and feels the energy and watches and feels everything that's going on, this is going to be really freaking bad. It is going to be so bad. I have a feeling Worst case scenario, man, I don't even want to put it to. If I say it, it's gonna come to existence, and then I don't want it to really happen. But um, they might have to bring back the draft. They might have to bring back the draft, and all these protesters that are out there protesting and causing that craziness all over throughout the United States. They look young, they look dumb, and they look like they're full of cum. Okay, and young, dumb, full of cum individuals. Well, you want to terrorize neighborhoods, you want to terrorize the cities, you want to terrorize the police. Well, we're going to give you a place to go to where you can terrorize, and make sure you bring your flag with you. Make sure you bring your Mexican flag, bring all your flags from all the countries around the world, because we're going to send you across to the other side of the world, and you'll have a fun time fighting in Iran for the people here in the United States. I mean, if that's the worst case scenario, if I was president, that would be on the table. That would be on the table for sure. All these individuals like causing a ruckus and burning down cars and burning stuff and burning buildings and causing a ruckus. It's I tell you right now, bring back the draft, and all these individuals that got pinged on their phones of being a part of this craziness this past week or so. Well, congratulations, you got yourself what you wanted, a ticket to war. Because that's what they're doing. They're trying to create their own little war, right? So we're going to send them to a real war and have them fight. Fight for your country. Bring your flag. You want to play with the Mexico flag? Bring your Mexico flag. Now you're fighting for Mexico and Iran. That would be the worst case scenario. But let's go ahead and get this started. Was just checking here. Just checking the. I'm still looking. I'm sorry, but I gotta make sure. There's a lot of news. Okay, I don't know what that was about. This is a woke mob. I'm not too caring about that right now. Okay, so let's do what I got here. I opened up a couple of windows. I just man, CNN. Should I fucking put CNN? Fuck it. I'll put CNN. I hate CNN. I hate them. But I'm not gonna start off with CNN. Fuck you, CNN. You know how I say fuck you, YouTube? Same way I feel for YouTube, I do for CNN. YouTube is a great platform, right, to communicate and share and so forth. But me and YouTube have a long-lasting vendetta against each other. They like to censor me, and I like to curse them out. That's just the way it is. Let's see which one I want to put first. Man, that was a powerful one. I'm not going to start with that one. I could start with the Trump returning to Washington. I think that would be a good start. So let me set this up real quick. I haven't been feeling good. I've been very sick for the past few days, and today it was not feeling good. I'm still fighting what I'm fighting, and it's not easy. Every day is not easy. Yesterday, I took the day off because I was just not feeling good. And I know it was Father's Day and all that stuff, but I couldn't come on. I just needed the time off.
Trump taking part in the G7 family photo in Canada, and he took questions. Watch.
President, why are you leaving the G7 early for Washington?
Well, I have to be back. Very important. I want to just thank our great host. He did a fantastic job. Thank you. In Canada. But you probably see what I see, and I have to be back as soon as I can. We're going to have dinner with these wonderful leaders, and then I get on the plane. I have to be back early for obvious reasons. I loved it. I tell you, I loved it. And I think we got a lot done, really a lot done. In fact, UK, we signed a big trade deal today, and we're working on others, but we had just a really great relationship with everybody, and it's really nice. I wish I could stay for tomorrow, but that they understand. This is
there a reason,
big.
Mr.
This is
President,
big
that
stuff.
Why Macron's
Do you
always
have
in the
questions for
picture?
anybody
He looks
else?
high as hell.
What?
Click here to subscribe to the
Macron
Fox
always
News
looks high.
YouTube page.
What's wrong with
to catch our
Macron?
hottest
Macron
interviews.
always looks hyper. For some reason, he looks hyper. It's when was this? This was an hour ago. So let's check this one out. This was from Fox News. Trump leaves G7 summit early, returns to the White House.
Where he's requesting the National Security Council be prepared in the Situation Room after a deadly weekend in the Middle East. In Israel, 24 fatalities, 600 wounded. The death count even higher in Iran, 224 dead and counting. Iran retaliating by firing over 370 missiles at the Jewish state, but Israel's hitting back harder.
Oh, wow. What was that? Hold on. I got to rewind that for a second. What was that picture real quick? Let me back it up a little bit. Oh, it's a drone. They attacked it. Wow. Oh, look at the explosions. Whoa, you see that missile right there? Every day it's been something.
Overnight, Iranian missiles struck an Israeli oil refinery and a power grid. This morning, a state TV outlet in Tehran was bombed during a live broadcast.
آنچه که ملاحظه کردید
Listen to this.
صدایی که شنیدید فضای غبارآلوده استودیو
Boom! Whoa!
Tel Aviv is claiming full aerial superiority over Iranian
Oh,
airspace.
they're taking out the jets.
They downed 2 Iranian fighter jets today after top Iranian military officials were taken out Friday. Israel says they've already destroyed a third of Iran's missile launchers, and nuclear sites are getting pummeled so badly
Oh,
that
shit.
residents are being warned of radiation spillage. The IDF is warning that Iran will
Oh,
pay
they're
the
killing all the
price,
people. Look,
and
they
they've
wiped out
scheduled
all
this
those
campaign
people.
to last 2 weeks.
Oh,
Their
they
plan is to degrade the Iranian nuclear program and destroy their ballistic missile stockpiles. The mullahs are getting battered, and they don't have the military capacity to trade endless missile strikes with Israel. They need a breather and are crossing their fingers that we don't provide the bunker busters that could eliminate their nuke sites deep underground. So they're
I think the
begging
US is
Trump to
gonna
come
give it
back
to
to the
them.
negotiation table, hoping that the U.S. doesn't get involved militarily and that Netanyahu will take his finger off the trigger. Trump signaling that he'd prefer a deal over death.
Have you heard any signals or seen any messages from intermediaries that Iran wishes to de-escalate the conflict?
Yeah,
What have you heard? What
Look
have
how they
you
look at
heard
Trump.
from
Look
the
how he looks at
Iranians?
Trump.
they'd like to talk, but they should have done that before. I had 60 days,
Wow.
and they had 60 days, and on the 61st day, I said, we don't have a deal. They have to make a deal, and it's painful for both parties, but I'd say Iran is not winning this war, and they should talk, and they should talk immediately before it's too late.
Democrats call Trump the taco president, a.k.a. Trump always chickens out.
Yeah,
But he
but
gave
the
the
problem
Iranians
is,
a deadline for a deal, and they missed the deadline. So he
they
let
say about the taco, right? You know, Trump, whatever, chickens out, whatever, always chickens out. That's not true. First of all, Trump is a man of peace. He's not a warmonger. You got a lot of people within the Democrats that are pushing this to Trump to escalate and to rain hell, because the Democrats love this. They love disruption. They love distractions. They love people dying. They don't care about the people. Do you think they care about these protesters that are out there protesting? They're using them. All those people out there are a bunch of, they're just being used. And And you could tell, every night, every day, has been something going on with these stupid protests. And I say, listen, let's do this. Let's try a little something different. You see all the people that are out there protesting? Grab them all. Grab them, put them into buses, handcuff them, put them into buses. And instead of having them go to jail or anything like that, nope. Send them to a military base to get trained. And they have to be trained. And when they get trained, then they can be sent to battle and fight for this country, since they have all this aggression and energy and every night wants to cause a ruckus. Well, we could use that in the military. We could use that overseas. Not only in Ukraine, because Ukraine has its own issues. Because I say, look, send them to Ukraine and they can fight against Russia. That's okay. Well, we could send these same individuals over to Israel or even Iraq to fight Iran on the ground. It can happen. I'm just saying, bring back the draft, Trump. You'll scare every single person that's out there protesting. All Trump has to say, every single person that's out there protesting, guess what? We pinged your phones, every single one of you. And you are going to be evaluated to be implemented into a draft. Since you don't want to deport yourselves and you don't want to, leave freely, well, we're going to grab you and we're sending you to war. You'll see how fast they'll self-deport. I guarantee you they'll be jumping the fucking border walls to get out of the United States in fear of going to war. Let's continue with this news. It's 6 more minutes. 7 more minutes.
Let Netanyahu go at him. Now Iran's begging for mercy. And they're not going to get a good of a deal now. The whole world witnessed that. That sends a strong message everywhere, even on trade. Now Iran's lost leverage. They're at their weakest point in decades. Israel's neutralized their proxies, Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and Assad in Syria. The Iranians don't have much of a navy. Their air force is ancient, and their army's sitting ducks if they cross the border on foot into Iraq. They can't project power. The only thing keeping the Ayatollah alive is his nuclear program, and he's clinging on to it so that he doesn't get Gaddafi. You remember Gaddafi gave up his nuclear program, and then Barack, Hillary, and the Europeans killed him anyway. Trump says it's very simple.
I want to see no nuclear weapon in Iran, and we're well on our way to making sure that happens.
America can't let Iran acquire a nuclear weapon, or any other country. Americans can't get blackmailed by rogue states. And stopping the spread of nuclear weapons has been American policy since Oppenheimer made one. Trump originally put Netanyahu on ice and told him not to strike. But NBC reports Trump had a change of heart after the International Atomic Energy Agency said Iran was cheating. 47 didn't want to be the president on whose watch it was able to obtain a nuclear weapon. So the Pentagon started to quietly move resources to the region, deploying reconnaissance aircraft to conduct surveillance and provide intelligence to Israel. Moved anti-drone and anti-missile systems from Ukraine to the Middle East. A carrier strike group from the Pacific to the Eastern Mediterranean, and they're assisting Israel with refueling flights. We're helping Israel intercept Iranian strikes and defending American soldiers.
All these people running, they all got killed right there.
So you were closely coordinating with the U.S. throughout this process.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Look, we're fully coordinated, but understand that America, under President Trump, will make the decisions that are best for America. And that's the way it is. He understands that I, as the Prime Minister of Israel, the one and only Jewish state, must make the decisions that are important for the survival of my country, and he will do what is best for America. That is a relationship of mutual respect and mutual confidence.
Israel has its own agenda. They're looking out for their own interests. And sometimes those interests align with ours, and sometimes they don't. Israel isn't interested in talks with Iran. Netanyahu called the nuclear negotiations between Tehran and Washington fake. Trump disagrees.
These missiles are just raining down.
Settlement than settle it with airstrikes.
And they're getting through.
Israel wants
no, these two are going to get through. Those two right there. Boom. There's another one.
When they asked to assassinate Iran's Supreme Leader Khamenei.
They're making their way in, man. They can't stop the ballistic missiles.
Until they do, We're not even talking.
They can stop some of
about
them,
going
not all
after
of
the
them.
political leadership. Bibi says Iran tried to kill Trump.
These people who chant death to America, try to assassinate President Trump twice. Do you want these people to have nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them to your cities? Of course not.
Yeah.
So we're defending ourselves, but we're also defending the world.
You just said Iran tried to assassinate President Trump twice. Do you have intel that the assassination attempts on President Trump were directly from Iran?
Through proxies, yes. Through their intel, yes. They want to kill him.
Whoa. Well, we know Iran tried to kill Trump, but we never knew Ruth and Crooks were Iranian proxies. Either Netanyahu just shared intelligence that hasn't been shared with
Could
the
be.
American
These two
people,
are
or
Iranian
he's spinning.
proxies.
Remember, there's always propaganda when missiles are flying. And as critical as it is to prevent Iran from having a nuclear weapon, we've seen the risks of regime change. What comes next is the question. Iran's a theocracy. You can take out the Ayatollah, but there's still 30,000 radical clerics. You can't kill them all. So who takes over after a decapitation strike? Someone even more dangerous? Does the country disintegrate into militia infighting? Do insurgents take over the oil sector? Do jihadists pour in from all over the world and force Iranian refugees to pour out? And then who takes them? Israel doesn't have to manage that chaos. That'll fall to the United States. We've overthrown Iranian leaders before. We installed the Shah, and he was a great ally against the Soviets and kept the oil flowing. But he was so unpopular, there was a revolution, and these fundamentalists took over. Their paramilitary groups laid siege to the region, and they started enriching uranium. It's who we're dealing with now. You never really know what happens after you topple a leader. You'd rather have ships sailing from Europe to the Indian Ocean without any trouble. So far, oil prices haven't spiked too much. Oil in the 60s, it's what's kept inflation at bay this year. Let's keep it that way. There's two key things to look for to tell you how this conflict's going to play out. If the Israelis start targeting Iranian oil refineries, that could tell you regime change could be next, because a domestic energy crisis will turn the streets against Iranian leadership. And also look for whether bunker busters will be used. Israel has them, but they don't go as deep as the American ones. And if the U.S. delivers them to Israel or uses them ourselves, that'll cripple the only card Iranians have left. And could lead to the Iranians lashing out wildly in a last-ditch effort to preserve their power.
I think the U.S. is going to supply them with the bunker buster,
where they swear off enrichment. Or the settlement opens up their country for inspections so invasive that it makes it almost impossible for the regime to retain legitimacy.
The problem is that
and hurts their ability to control their own population,
if Iran
at that point
starts
have a revolution,
throwing
or anything could happen.
more high-tech
This is a fast
weaponry.
Trump just
like what we're
posted
seeing
on
here.
Truth Social. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran.
Ooh.
This country elected President Trump because they trust him as commander-in-chief more than they trusted Joe Biden, and much more than they would have trusted Kamala Harris. One of the reasons he won the Republican primary in 2016 was because he called the Iraq war dumb. But Trump has also shown his willingness to take strong and decisive action to eliminate foreign threats. So far, the risks to American soldiers have been minimal, and we hope it stays that way. Because if we can achieve a peaceful solution to the Iranian issue, the rest of the president's Mideast agenda falls into place. The Abraham Accords, low energy prices, free shipping lanes, and an AI market that relies on U.S. tech. We can then finally pivot to Asia and back here to the homeland to confront more immediate challenges. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews.
Very interesting. Just wild times. We're living in just really wild times. And your life, man. I told you guys, for the ones who've been with me for the years and years and years, Albie's one of them. He's one of the rare number one. He's like the number one unicorn. You don't fuck with him. He'll fucking stab you with his fucking horn. But we're in very unique times right now. We are in very, very unique times. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. Um, it's like alert, alert. Everything's like alert. Because this is something that, and this is a once in a lifetime thing. It is. Um, quick story. I went to the movie theaters today. Yay! I went to the movies, and I went to see Karate Kid, Legend, the Legends. It's like legendary. Karate Kid. Well, the Karate Kid movie. Not a bad movie. The sound was a little off, so I wasn't too happy with the sound. Something was off with the sound, but it wasn't a bad movie. It just showed a lot of pizza. Like I got hungry, like watching the movie, and then they kept showing like because they had like different scenes, and it's like I'm not gonna tell you the whole story, but it's a boy, and he comes from Beijing, China, and he migrates to Jackie Chan is his uncle, you know, and his mom, she works medical. She's in the medical field. She's a doctor, and they migrate from Beijing, China. The mom, like the son, didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay there in Beijing, but the mom was like, "No, you're coming," and this and this and that. So he had no choice but to come to New York. New York, out of all places, because the original movie was based out of California. It was a California movie. It was a really good movie. Karate Kid, the first one. We'll watch all the Karate Kid. I'm not a big fan of the last one, the one with the what's his name? Jaden Smith, whatever. I wasn't a big fan of that little boy. That little boy is very weird. He's very man, the word abuse just came through my head. Abused. Yeah. Besides that, I didn't like that one so much. But this one, it was okay. I mean, the kid that they have was like, well, supposedly he's from Beijing, but I mean, he's all right. He's like, I don't know, but he did pretty good. He was very like athletic and very like he knew these moves, and he like did all these moves and stuff, and I was like, holy shit. It was pretty interesting. And of course, they had a tournament. It was like the best, I guess, of the 5 boroughs, which is the 5 boroughs in New York. And it was a competition, and you advanced it's like a street fight type of thing, but it's their, kung fu, karate thing, tournaments. So I love the last setting of the movie where they were like in the helipad area, and the people were standing there and chanting, and it was on top of a building. I thought that was so freaking cool. Like just the visuals of seeing the city as the backdrop, and then you're getting ready to fight someone to try to win, to be like number one, be the king of the boroughs. It was interesting. It was an interesting movie. I got into it. Ralph Macchio was in it. Like I said, Jackie Chan was in it. Jackie Chan's getting old. Ralph Macchio looks young. Holy shit, he's 63, but the guy looks like he's in like his like early 50s, even probably late 40s. Like he's looking like young. I'm like, how the fuck, man? He had like nice hair too. I was like, he's 63 years old. I was like, dude, you're gonna have to pass down some of those products you be using, because he looked great in the movie. He did good, and he was athletic, and he did some, some of his little moves, and it was cool. It was really cool. I mean, yeah, I remember when I saw him, like Karate Kid. I remember seeing that movie when it came out. My parents took me to see that movie, and it was a good movie. It was a great movie, actually. Very underrated. I think more people should watch it. You know, yeah. Maybe I'll have a show fest. Maybe I'll come back on my Discord and I'll do a movie-thon where you could come and watch movies. I'll be like the movie theater, but guess what? It's free. So you guys could come and watch. Maybe I'll do like a something. I'll figure something out. Do like a Karate Kid marathon or something. Because it's just a good movie. It's a great movie. It's very wholesome, and it has a good story to it and a good message to it. But talking about the Karate Kid, which leads me to the purpose of talking about the damn Karate Kid, because it was a great movie. It was a good movie. It wasn't great like the first one, Karate Kid Part 1, the original, the old school 80s. Hell yes, Karate Kid is. Oh, Ralph Macchio back in those days, he was the heartthrob back in those days, and the fucker looked like my father. So like, he kind of looked like my father. Like, you look at like Ralph Macchio and you look at my father, you're like, my father looks like an older version of Ralph Macchio. It's like, Ralph Macchio, this is what you're gonna look like in a few years. Oh man. But it was okay. It was a good movie. Okay. The purpose of me talking about this and my adventure to the movies, as I was coming out of the theater, right? I opened the door to exit. So when I opened the door, I look on the floor and I find a quarter. It was heads up. And I was like, okay. And I have that quarter right here. Oh, you heard the quarter. I wanted to make its presence felt. Okay, so I have this quarter, right? And I found it right at the door sill in between, like on the, you know how it has that, like, it's like a seal on the bottom? So it was like right on the seal. Actually, let me make myself bigger so you can actually see me. Because I'm a little. I'm a little thing over here. You're going to call me the little thing. Hey, little thing. I'm like right here. Okay, so I found this quarter, right? Oh, you can see the reflection of it, somewhat. Well, it glittered. Oh, you know what? I bought this camera for a reason. I bought it for a reason, and that's the damn quarter. I have cheeky eyes because my eyes, that light bothers me. So it's like I try not to open it so much. So I kind of look like Japanese right now, but I'm not. I'm Puerto Rican American. Well, American Puerto Rican because I was born in the USA. So this is the quarter, right? So I found this quarter, and I was like, wow, it's been a while since I found a quarter. It's very interesting. It's very cool. I was like, that means more is coming to me because I always look on the ground. I never look up. I'm always looking down. And I grew attached to that because I walk with a cane. So, and it's for stability. Hold on. I'll make myself close up. It's more for the balance. It's for my balance because I have really bad balance. And I wear New Balance and I have bad balance. Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? I just saw that you're in the chat. Hi. Thanks for coming by. Well, I walk with these New Balance, but I when I wear shoes, I feel like I'm wearing stilts. Ever since my accident, like, shoes to me is very alien to me. Like, I prefer being barefooted. When I'm barefooted, I'm more grounded and I feel more balanced. But I can't walk outside barefooted. But in my apartment, I live on the first floor, anyways, and I'm on the ground level. So, like, everything's like I'm okay inside walking, But when I put on shoes, it's like Bozo the Clown. It's like big ass. It feels like big ass flip flops in my feet, and I don't have balance, and I have to walk where I can and stuff. It really sucks, but I've grown used to it. I've been doing it for 11 years now, so yeah, it's just gonna be like that for the rest of my life. Um, but that's not it. I didn't want to start talking about me. I was talking about the fucking quarter. Let's bring it back. Okay. The quarter that I found, right? This quarter led to something else. As soon as I picked this up and I had it in my hands, I found something. About 10 feet from where the door was, I would say about 7 to 10 feet. It wasn't that far. It was literally like real close from the door. So I was walking, I see something on the floor. And I go, that doesn't look like a box of cigarettes. That doesn't look like a box of cigarettes. Because it was a box, right? Oh, they wanted to back out. I didn't put it to back out, but it's okay. It was let me get to the point, right? It's like, Rick, hurry the fuck up. I don't got on today. Like, okay, fuck. It's my OCD type of shit. Fuck. Okay, I'm trying to get the camera to work. Okay, so mind you, I find a pack of cards. A pack of playing cards. Right? And then the type of playing cards it was the Star Wars playing cards. And it's the red one. And my color's red. A sign, Star Wars. And then what it says here on the side, it says here, can't really see because I don't have that much light. Hold on. The power of the dark side. That's what it says right here. On the side here, you can see it right there. It's like some letters. Well, it says the power of the dark side. Okay. I'm a fucking psychic, okay? When shit like this happens, this is like, oh, pay attention. You have to pay attention. And then the other side, because there's two sides, it says, now I am the master. That's what it says. Stephanie, I'll send you the picture now. I come with receipts. So Stephanie will be my confirmation on pictures. I didn't even talk to her about this, but I'm pretty sure she'll like the receipts, proof of what I'm saying, so she could see and read what it says here. And it says, "Now I am the master." Pack of Star Wars playing cards, and it's taped up. It was taped up weird. It has like Scotch tape on it. Like it seemed like it was like used, right? It seemed like maybe a used deck of cards, right? So I come and I open it. I open this motherfucker. And come to behold, when I open it and I pull the cards out, I pull all the cards out. They're brand new. They're brand new. Never been used. They're all in order. They're all in order. Like, They're all in order. Never been used. Never been used. And they feel brand new. The thing that caught my attention, I have receipts because the person that was with me, because I wasn't alone, the quarter fell down. I want to see where it fell. If it fell heads or tails. What's your guess? Heads or tails? Before I see it. And I got the playing cards here, and they're brand new. Stephanie, I'll take a picture and show it to you. I swear to God, I didn't even put them in order. Nothing. They were like this, and I opened it. I thought maybe it's an old paid deck, because if you see the box, you see the tape. Like, it's weird. Let me send you pictures. Let me send you pictures so you'll know what I'm talking about. Stephanie is my confirmation. I need people to be my witness. You know, when things like this happen. You know, I'm a psychic medium. You guys know this. You know, hold on. I'm gonna take the picture and then I'm gonna send it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put the flash. Let me close this here because I want to show you guys the tape. Like, it's just weird. Okay. So this is the deck. I don't know if it came out good. Okay, it came out okay. You can see the tape. Let me see if I take from behind. And then you can see like the scotch tape, because it has scotch tape. Okay, I'm taking pictures. This is live. We're living today. This is not fantasy. Hello, you're alive for a reason. You're here for a reason. You know? Wow. Wow. Oh, this gives me goosebumps. What I just saw right now. I didn't even notice this. Right inside the tab, it has a message. You know what the message says? It says, I have you now. I have you now. Whoa. Yo, what? Yo, I don't. It doesn't creep me out. I know I'm gifted. I'll be my original witness. He's Albie has a wrench, right? He is a monitor. He's been with me. Albie, how many years? It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I know Albie. I just don't remember how long. I'm a bad friend, right? Like, fuck, you don't remember how long? No, it's been a long time. He's been on my show. He come on. He came before, when I used to have people come on all the time, you know. But now it's a little different because it's a different season, and now it's all about me. It's gotta be me. And I heard that song in the like. I heard that song today. Like, yeah. Let me take this picture. Wow, Stephanie, you're gonna have goosebumps when you read this. Man, I think it's better without the flash, to be honest with you. I'll take some with the flash, and then I'll take some. Like, you can see the tape. That's okay. And then this one here. Now I am the master. Now I am the master. Wow. If you know me for a long time, what I talk about, my capabilities and what I've been through. To have this message, wow. I'm gonna send you the picture, Stephanie. Stephanie is gonna be the witness. I want her to be the witness too. Actually, you know what? How do I give you a wrench? So when you come here, you could be my monitor here because I really do like your energy a lot. Trust me, I'm very good. I know how to judge people very good, and I feel very good aura around you. So, um, welcome. You're welcome. Um, let me see here. How do I do this? I forgot how to do this. I haven't been on YouTube for like a year. So like I forgot to do a lot of things. Well, I didn't really forget. Um I didn't forget. I just need to remember. It's like, wait, that means you forgot. Like, no, shut up. No, there's a way of doing it. Okay. How do I do this here? I just heard myself talk. I'm like, oh, he sounds pretty charming. It's like it's a charming voice. Okay. How do I do this? Okay, here you go. I had to go into um the channel itself, but it's so far away that I can't really see what I'm doing. Put in timeout. I don't want to put her in timeout. That's bad. I lied. Put on timeout. I should just press it and see what it does. Like, no, that's fucked up. I know, right? Here it is. Add as monitor. There you go. And right now, standard monitor is good. And let's go ahead and give you that wrench. There you go. Now you have a wrench, I believe. Okay. The pictures. Fucking shit. You see, I get sidetracked. I don't know. I get so excited. It's like a little puppy. It's like, calm down. It's like I'm hyped. The energy has me so hyped. I wanted to go to sleep. Now I'm awake. I said I was going to do the show for an hour. I guess it's going to be a little longer. So it is what it is. I'm having a good time, and I feel the energy is just like oof, oof. That's why I gotta say woof. Oh, Stephanie, I took some. Maybe I can send it to you later. I took some beautiful pictures of this gentleman's bike that I saw on top of where I went today. I can't say it on YouTube because then I don't want to get doxxed, motherfuckers. Like anybody's gonna come after me. Have fun. Trying to make it through here. I don't think you want to come to Connecticut because I can tell you I'm in Connecticut. But here, let me send you this picture. It's like, Rick, stop procrastinating. Fucking send the fucking picture already. It's like, okay, goddamn, okay. I know Stephanie's laughing. She's like, this guy's crazy as fuck. I know. I have to live with him. Like, Rick's crazy for real. Like, nah, I'm not crazy. It's just crazy things happen to me all the time, and weird things always happen. I did not know those messages. Oh, I knew the two outside messages, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's unique, I am a master number 22. So I do have a lot of like good aura about me. I was born January 21st. So it's the beginning of the year, beginning of the decade from the 80s. Like, yeah, she got a blue wrench. She got her blue wrench. She's like, Rick, stop fucking, like, send the pictures already. I was like, okay, Stephanie, I am. I'm getting them. I got them. Here. She'll be my witness. Then she'll tell you what she feels in the chat. Because she's very good. I like how she expresses herself. I just got high, Rick. Oh, you got high? I'm smoking too, buddy. I'm glad you're smoking because I got mine. Yeah, like 10 years, right? Fuck, Albie. Albie, what size shirt are you, by the way? I think you're like a large. I wonder what size shirt are you? I'm assuming large. That's what I feel. I feel like you're a large, and I think like certain people are certain sizes, right? I think like legally, I think she's like a medium. She's like a medium, and Tyson, I think he's a large. Like tokens, right? Yeah. XL, Albie. Damn, Albie, you're XL. You like it baggy? Damn, XL on you? Okay. I always seen you as a large. Boy, have you been beefing up? I know definitely Tyson's a large. He has to be a large. I'll find out. I've been trying to get people sizes. You have DD? Oh, I have to. I thought, it's funny. I'm going to laugh so hard. When I read that message, I thought it was Albie's. I thought it was Albie's. I didn't look at the name, right? I just looked at the wrench. So I knew Albie had a wrench. So I forgot that I gave you a wrench. So then I see here, because I was like, Albie, extra large? I thought you were like more like a large, right? So then I read the next message. It says, I have to upsize, not to be TMI. I have DDs. I'm like, wait, but you're guy. Wait a minute, and then you put laugh out loud. So I'm here laughing inside. I'm like, what the fuck? And I see the name. I'm like, oh my god. Oh no. Oh my god. That's funny. Oh god. Oh, that's so funny. I'm sorry. We had to laugh. That's good energy. Laughing is good. Trust me. So what size are you then? Large or like? I don't think you're extra large. I think you're like what, large? Like girl size, like women's size. Albie's laughing. He's like, "What the fuck? What's Rick on tonight? That's some good ass medicine." Hell yeah! I need to buy some more medicine. I actually got to renew my license. I learned that my license expired, and I was like, "Fuck! Don't tell me it expired. It expired." So now I can't use my discount. I'm like, "Fuck! And I got to pay full price. That's fucked up." So tomorrow I'm gonna pick some up. It's gonna cost me like $50. I was like, "Fuck! I could have gotten it so much cheaper with the license." But I'm getting my license in 2 weeks because I'm going to the doctor in 2 weeks. I could have gotten my license tomorrow, but I didn't want to drive all the way over there for the license and then to drive back. And I was like, I could do it at the same time when I do my pain management. So I made the appointment because my pain manager does my license for me too. So I told him to do it the same day when I go for him for my appointment, which I go in monthly, which is great because they monitor me every month. They check my pressure, check my heart, they listen to my lungs. So I love doing it because I feel like I'm getting a monthly check, which is great. Time for time, they check my urine, make sure everything's okay with me, which is cool. I don't mind it, but ah, oh no. No. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have children. Things start growing, and yeah, some ladies like overproduce. They do, and then it's just if it's not sucked out, it stays there. So it's like it's stuck. You got some big like melons there. You're like, let's go bowling. Like, what the fuck? It's like you could beat somebody up with it. It's like you do like the Wonder Woman turn. Dun, 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 dun. What's it? Dun, 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 Wonder Woman. Dun, 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 Wonder Woman. It's like, and you do the twirl. You like you slap everybody around. I was like, oh goodness gracious! But back to the cards. I found these cards, right? This make me big again. You saw the pictures, right, Stephanie? What do you think? Hold on, let me go back to see what. Chloe, you walked into a scene of Wonder Woman. Okay, I was talking about these some like things that happened to me. Hold on, let me make myself back again. Hold on. Okay, I found this quarter. Where's the quarter? Oh, it's on the floor. We have to pick the quarter. Oh wait, heads or tails? We haven't even checked heads or tails. I was talking so much that I forgot about the quarter. Heads or tails? Heads or tails? You can put H for heads and T for tails. You don't have to write it out, but yeah, Stephanie with the Wonder Woman like dun, 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 slap. My cousin, she had big boobs, and she did the Wonder Woman. She dressed. I think all big girls, like all big-breasted girls, should dress as Wonder Woman. I just remember my cousin, and she was huge bunkers. She was young too. My cousin was like 15. 15. Yeah, she's older. She was older than me. She was like almost like 9 years older than me, I think. She was the eldest. I think she was like the firstborn of the cousins. And then I came down the line. She actually really liked me down at towards the end, but I stopped. Like, we don't nobody talk anymore, and I don't talk to my father's side of the family. But well, I remember for her Halloween party, because she did a Halloween party and we were invited, and I went as a soldier. And when I got to the party and I saw her, she looked like Wonder Woman, but her tits were so big. Her bazookas were so huge. Like I was like, I was like, where are you? He's like, I'm Wonder Woman. I was like, okay. I was like, I think she was just showing them off. But anyhow, we need to find out heads or tails. I said tails. Funny coincidence. Yeah, right. It was just. But yeah, and I think every like big breasted girl should be Wonder Woman, and then their spin would knock every guy out. Like, especially the one that you're with, he sees that swirl, he's gonna be like, "Oh man, let's go." Oh no, don't make it kinky, but hey, you can spice it up. Wonder Woman will spice up any relationship, especially if into costumes. I'm just saying, it's very kinky. You can make it any way you want it. I'm trying to make it PG, but it's going down a road that I can't turn back. But you saw the pictures. Hold on. What did you say about the pictures? Okay, because I got to go back to see if you wrote. Oh, your Laugh Path 9. Oh, that's cute. 2/3. Okay, I don't know why you 2/3. Yeah, Albie, I known you for 10 years, dude. I know Albie forever. Like, you go back and you can watch. He's always on there. This year is like a little different. The headliner. I'm the only one. There'll be days I'll bring people on. There'll be days I'll have a day for everybody to come on, or specific people. Have a revolving door. Like if Tyson wants to come in here and come in, that's on him, because he has the open door. He has the key, so he could come in. Because he's so cool. He's so cool. I like his energy so much, man. He has so much potential. It's just watching him. It's kind of like it's cool, because you can see the development and you can see the gradually bettering himself. It's so cool to see. No, I'd rather loop myself into a cat suit. Oh my god, a cat suit! Oh my goodness, you are a freak. The cat suit. Wow. Yeah, right. You love it, right? The pictures. I took the pictures. I have them, so I just gotta post them. But and it's tell them the deck looks beat up. You saw the scotch tape on the deck, like on the black and red deck, like the cover. You saw the tape on it. It's scotch tape. It's scotch tape, and it was sealed. It was sealed. Okay, the box was beat up. The box is beat up, and look, I have better pictures. You know, the video's not going to do us justice because you're not going to be able to see it that much. But it's a busted. It has like scotch tape on it, and but when I got it, it was sealed. It was sealed, and not sealed like the deck. It was sealed with the tape. It was sealed with the tape, and then it says what it says, and it really got me. It really got me to the message. It's like the first message I read from it was the power of the dark side. The power of the dark side. I'm like, all right. The power of the dark side. It seems cool. I like Star Wars. I really do. I was watching it the other day. So the fact that I got this deck, I was like, so then I see the other side, right? And I read it and it says, now I am the master. Now I am the master. Okay. I did not know the third message until now. I just discovered it on the show because I didn't read it before because I didn't see it until I really paid attention because it's hard to see it. Like until I really paid attention and I saw it and I was like, what the hell? And then I'm like, okay. And it says, I have you now. I have you now. And it's a black inside. The box inside is black. This is a cool ass fucking box. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Stephanie saw it because I sent her the pictures. This is a really fucking cool box, and the way it was taped up, you know, because there's tape throughout the box. There's like pieces of tape here in the bottom. There's three pieces, I believe, or four. No, there's three or four pieces. It looks like four. On both. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 pieces of tape. 6 pieces of tape. One here on the two sides, and then 1, 2, 3. So that's 5. This piece. That's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh. It's just, and then the cards are brand new. The cards are brand new. Never been used. Trust me. My tarot deck, like I play. I like not play, but I when I used to do my readings. Let me make it smaller. When I used to do my readings, you know, I when I first started, it was a new deck. You could tell, you could feel it was like a little more harder for me and so forth. And I still have that same deck here from my very first show, right here. Oh my goodness! And you want to know the card that I pulled out? Oh my goodness! The bottom of the deck, the hold on, I can't even see it. The Nine of Swords. and Nine of Swords. That's what I'm feeling tonight. Look, I got this camera for a reason. Nine of Swords. That's how I feel. All that energy, all that craziness, the unpredictability of like what's going on. Like things are going so crazy and so fast, and a lot of people are like this. And this card's not for me. It's going to be for all of us, like a general one. This is how are we feeling, and there's a lot of uncertainty. There's especially like remember oh my god, I've been saying it for if you go back like let's say 3 weeks or so and just watch my shows, like you hear me say about and here's another card from the underneath. I'm just gonna read these two because these are the two, because then I'll read out the whole deck. um the next one I got here is the Four Swords. The Nine and the Four. To me, this has so much meaning to me. At least for me. Like everyone can interpret it their own ways, but this is a generic for everyone. So you can interpret it how you want it to interpret. For me, it's a read for me, and it's kind of creepy. Kind of creepy because I haven't done a reading in such a long time, right? And then for me to pick out those cards and feel that energy too, and the uncertainty and the headaches that I've been having. Yeah, I pulled out the star the other day. I don't think you were here, Stephanie. I pulled out. I think you weren't here for that one, but I pulled out a card, and it was the star card that came out. Yeah, the one that was here, and this wasn't a morning show. This one, Doc Illusions was in the chat, and Moontang was in the chat. Those are two individuals that I've known for a very long time too. Well, more Doc. I've known Doc for a long, long time. And Moontang's more like a newer, like less than 2 years for sure. We had a good time. She's been on this show too. We always have a good time. When I used to bring people on, and you can always go back and watch, and I used to have a lot of people. Oh my god, especially like in the beginnings too. In the beginning, it was just like I used to line up like the Brady Bunch, like everybody, and everybody has their own little like powers and like not powers, but like their energies. I will pick up their energies, and we had great times. I had good times, but people migrate, and that's great. I like when people migrate. It's like leave room for the new. But I found this deck, and I thought, wow, that's such that, and the fact that it was brand new, kind of like had me like, that's weird, In a sense, it was weird. At first, I felt it was weird because I was like, man, when I opened it, because I had to peel the tape, so I peeled the tape, and like pull out the cards, and I'm like, this is brand new. I thought it was somebody like maybe an old man's cards, he just dropped them or whatever. But I opened it just to make sure, and they're brand new, never been used. But you wouldn't think it was like never been used because it has so much tape on it. Like it has so much like Scotch tape, out of all things. So February 3rd, nice. February 3rd. Life Path 9. That's what's up. Let me go back here. Yeah, Tyson's a cool guy. He's really cool. I like his reporting. I like how he put his shit together. I always tell him, I go, dude, yes, like you have everything going for you right now, man. You have good energy. You have everything's good. Just keep doing what you're doing and just keep pushing, man. Yeah, me too. My energy's been crazy too. It's like we're trying to get out of it. Yeah, we'll get out of it together because this is crazy. But if I pull that star card, that'll be wild. Oh, the quarter. Okay, so who picked the tails? I keep forgetting about the damn quarter. So the quarter is always meant to be on the ground because it wants to stay there. Okay, Stephanie said tails. Okay, Chloe, you still here? If Chloe's here, put in your heads or tails because the quarter fell on the floor. I haven't looked at it yet. Yeah, Tyson. Yeah, Tyson's a. You pray for him every day. Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's a he's like one of those. He's like a unicorn too. You know, he's just a very unique, like one in a million type of person. Okay, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check what it is. Nobody else. I only got a tails. So we'll see what came out. Okay, and it's a tails. Yeah, tails is my thing too. I like tails, but tails. It was tails, and it's like an older coin too. Watch this coin have blood and shit on it. I don't think so, but you never know. These days, but it's like a cool eagle, man. It looks like a person more than an eagle. I don't know. Let me take a picture of it. It's like Rick has fucking receipts. It's like hell yeah, fuck that. That's how they believe you, man. You come with receipts. Let's see. I don't know. That flash looks like too bright. Let me see if I can take it and it has like proper lighting. Let me see. Okay, I think that's a good picture. I think that's a good picture. Let's see. Send it to my confirmation. This is my confirmation. But it looks like a person with wings. Like it's just so unique. I need to put it on my show, but it just looks like a person. And like it has blood. That would be like so cool. But I gotta show it. How do I show this on the show? Oh man, I'm gonna have to like jump on the show. Let me see if I can do this. How can I do that? Can I do that? Let me see if I could do it. I don't know, man. I don't experiment so much with this. But doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. I'm still gonna try. Even though it's like, no, Rick. It's like, no, I'm gonna try. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Oh no, not the echo. Ugh. I'm sorry about that. How do I do this? Settings. No. I don't know if I can share it with my phone. I don't know. I've never tried doing that. No, I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think I could do that. Oh, man. That means I have to email it and throw it up here. I'm gonna take. I just sent it to my confirmation, so I gotta post those on, like, start back on my Discord and start posting them. So people are gonna have to subscribe to my Discord. It's easy to find me. It's the show's name, My Mind Over Your Matter. At Discord. It's the show's Discord. It's not my Discord. It's the show's. Let me see here. Let's put a story, because I'm pretty sure. Let's see how. Oh man, this story is crazy. Okay, let's fix this here. Let's put this here, and let's start the story, and then I'll read the chat.
You're looking live at Tel Aviv, Israel, where at least 8 people were killed and dozens were injured in an early morning missile attack from Iran. In just 4 days of fighting, Iran has launched over 300 missiles towards the Jewish state. Many of them have targeted major civilian areas. We know a 5-year-old was lost. There was a Holocaust survivor targeting civilian areas. Let that sink in. Now, dramatic video captured the moment of impact in Tel Aviv.
Yeah, it took them to bed late. Oh my goodness, 11 at night. Oh, but whoa, look at these earlier. Look at the missiles. Crazy. Oh.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kayleigh McEnany here with my co-host, Emily Compagno and Harris Faulkner. Also joining us, Nicole Parker, Fox News contributor and former FBI special agent, and Jeremy Hunt, Veterans on Duty chairman and former Army intelligence captain. But first, let's go live to Mike Tobin, who's in Tel Aviv. What's going on, Mike?
Well, Kayleigh, I can tell you that Tel Aviv, usually a bustling city, is relatively quiet right now, as most people are electing to stay home close to their bomb shelters in anticipation of another evening of ballistic missile attacks from Iran. As you mentioned, 8 people were killed by the most recent attacks here in Israel. Hundreds have been injured, and rescuers are still on the scene of some of the strike sites, combing through the rubble with the potential of finding survivors trapped in the rubble. Now, the damage from the strikes includes the U.S. consulate just a short distance from where I am here in Tel Aviv. The U.S. ambassador, Mike Huckabee, says the damage to the consulate was minor. No personnel were injured. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu toured the Tal Naf air base in central Israel. He boasted to troops that Israel has destroyed Iran's air defenses and fighter jets can operate at will from western Iran to Tehran.
The Israeli Air Force controls the skies over Tehran. This changes the entire campaign. We are on the way to achieving our 2 goals, eliminating the nuclear threat and eliminating the missile threat.
Israeli warplanes are not letting up in Iran. Just today, 20 surface-to-surface missiles were destroyed moments before they were launched, according to the IDF. Also today, we have satellite imagery before and after. Significant missile production and nuclear facilities were struck. Most significantly, the well-known Natanz nuclear plant shows destruction from Israeli bombs. The IDF also claims warplanes have destroyed 1/3 of Iran's missile launchers and their missile launching capability. Kayleigh?
Thank you, Mike. Keep us updated. Now, President Trump is revealing where exactly the United States stands in the conflict between Israel and Iran. During an interview with ABC News, Trump reiterated that the U.S. is not currently involved, but he did say, quote, "It's possible we could get involved." President Trump was asked about that reporting last hour and some additional reporting that came from the Wall Street Journal. Here's what he said.
What would it take for the U.S. to get involved in this conflict militarily?
I don't want to talk about that.
What material support and what intelligence support are you providing Israel?
we've always supported Israel. We have for a long period of time, strongly. And Israel's doing very well right now.
Meanwhile, U.S. officials are telling Fox News that President Trump blocked an Israeli plan to assassinate Iran's supreme leader, despite Iran's repeated attempts to assassinate President Trump in just the past year. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claims President Trump is Iran's top target in the world. Here's what he told Bret Baier on Special Reports.
You just said Iran tried to assassinate President Trump twice. Do you have intel that the assassination attempts on President Trump were directly from Iran?
Through proxies, yes. Through their intel, yes. They want to kill him. Look, he's enemy number one. He killed Qasem Soleimani. He said, made it very clear, including now, you cannot have a nuclear weapon, which means you cannot enrich. He's been very forceful. So for them, he's enemy number one.
So, Jeremy, I want to lay out where we are. Last night, there were some U.S. assets that all began moving east. I was closely tracking them on these national security accounts. There's been a ton of reporting that has come out, and we can now confirm, this is Liz Frieden, our producer, the U.S. Air Force is moving a large number of refueling tanker aircrafts to Europe in order to be closer to the Middle East. A U.S. official confirmed this to Fox News. This will provide, this is key, this was being reported by Reuters. Now we can confirm more options for President Trump. A lot of people asking what those options are. Could be supporting Israel defensively, could be something greater. I want to pull up a picture of Fordow. This is the nuclear site that's been much discussed. Those nuclear weapons buried about a half mile down. Israel lacks the capability to take them out without U.S. bunker busters. So the question is this among the options?
Perhaps. And I think it's great how President Trump is laying out all the options there so that we have freedom to decide how we want to, what involvement looks like. I'll say this. Israel is doing a great service for the United States. I mean,
without question.
Iran is the leading state sponsor of terrorism. They export their radical ideology all around the world. They have their proxies that have attacked American troops. They chant death to America. They've had apparently assassination attempts on President Trump's life. I mean, they hate us. They hate what we stand for. And so for Israel to be in a position where they're weakening that regime, this is a good day for America. And so I think it's important that President Trump is looking at all those options. But I'll say, just as an intel officer, it is remarkable what Israel has done. I mean, you look at the drone facility that they had within the border of Iran, and were able to unleash all these drones to attack Iran's air defense assets. I mean, truly, it took years to do that. Very similar to what we saw in Ukraine, for example, where Ukraine used the same kind of idea, where this operation had drones all in Russia, literally attacking their assets. This is a remarkable feat, and I think Israel should be applauded for that, and America should support in any way that is best for our interests.
Have a good night.
I think there's a clear case to be made there.
About an hour and a half
I'm
ago,
gonna try to
the Wall
be off
Street
here
Journal
soon.
reported
Not
this.
too much.
A
I'm
battered
gonna
Iran signals it
things
wants to
that I have
de-escalate
picked out,
hostilities with Israel and
then
negotiate
after I
messages
show all them,
passed by
I'm going to
Tehran
bed.
through intermediaries seek
But
a
have a
return
good
to
night.
talks
Appreciate
if
it.
the U.S. stays out of the fight. It bears mentioning they were given 60 days to negotiate. They didn't do that. Some would
this
argue they've been
almost
given
stuff,
decades to negotiate. Instead, they shouted death
Trump is
to
in the
America.
Situation Room, but
During
he's
the Fox
planning
Focus,
out
President Trump was
because-
asked directly about the
And they're
report.
gonna do
Let's listen
something
to
that
what he said.
big. It's going to be at nighttime, so it's going to be like in the afternoon. So he's going to be in the Situation Room.
Hey, Harris,
coming
we
up
don't
with
have
all
it,
the
but I do have it
options.
written here. They like to
And
talk.
then once he
But
got a
they should have
plan,
done that
and then
before.
he'll go
They
to
should have done
bed,
that before. They
he'll
should have
sleep
spoken
on it,
immediately. But at the
he'll
back
wake
end, he
up,
said they should speak
and
with
then
us now.
it'll be ready to go.
He said, look, they
You
had
know, it'll be
60
go
days.
time.
I waited until the
So
60th day to
tomorrow
pull that.
morning,
And
afternoon
he
will
did
be
say
interesting.
now is the time, because they're out of time at this point. He
Because
said Iran is not winning this war.
the way Iran's
And you were
looking
asking
and the way
before
they're going
about
to get
what
desperate, and they
our
know US,
involvement could look
US
like. We're
knows they're going to
already
get
involved
desperate,
with intelligence. I
and they're
mean,
going to
he's talked
shoot
about
like
it. Others have talked about it.
hundreds
But the aspect of us
these
going
missiles
in,
at the same time.
the president was asked
They're
about
going
in
to
that
shoot,
news conference.
you know,
He said,
like
I'm not
maybe
going to talk
maybe
about that right
200
now. And
missiles
we
at
might
the
have
same
gotten more
time,
from
maybe
him had the
300,
Canadian Prime
400,
Minister,
500.
Mark Carney, not thought
That
that
say,
it was
fuck
his
it.
birthday
You know what I
today and that
mean?
he could
Like,
get away
fuck
with
it.
cutting off the
If
president
they're
of the
threatening to
United States with
destroy
every
our
reporter
country,
asking about that
you send a
situation and him
1,000
making
at the
world
same
news.
time.
So he might have gone on
You
about
know,
this.
and
He
I
did
know
mention an Iranian friend
the
who has
rocket
not come
systems
out
that they
to
have
help, and that's
there,
Putin. And he said,
like the
oh,
Patriot missile,
would have been good to have a
and
G8
the
with
David,
perhaps Putin back in there. Well, I'm thinking big picture. Yeah, you could have talked with him about potentially being part of an equation at this point. Because you're looking for all players.
Well,
I don't think Putin's going to help Iran any other way unless it's at a table.
Israel,
Certainly not going to fight for them. He doesn't even fight for his own people.
No, he does not. Of that we know. All right, well, we're getting stunning new video. Iran state media was live on air. You won't believe this. I couldn't believe it when I watched it. Live on air. This is Iranian state media.
For a certain amount, not to protect every single one.
فضای غبارآلوده استدیو
Oh, damn. What?
I mean, Emily, if you didn't think Iran was on their heels, apparently they are.
A terrifyingly visceral clip to watch. Right. And especially, look, that's a human that we're watching there. But the reality is a lot of humans in Iran are being suffocated and held at the hands of the Islamic Republic.
That's wild. That is wild. Okay, let me go to the next video. I think this is it talks about the same thing, but we could just watch what they report here on Live Now.
Mike Tobin, Fox News.
All right, thank you so much. As we're following the latest out of that region in the Middle East, and the most recent comments coming in from the president talking about this. Breaking news on social media saying Iran should have signed the deal, saying that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. And of course,
okay, we'll come back to this one. I want to see this one. So give me 1 second to set it up. Is it this one? No, that's not that one. I'm trying to find it. Okay, where is it? I just had it here. No, that's not it. Did it close on me or open somewhere else? Yeah, it opened somewhere else. Of course it did. Okay, here we go. Let me play this one. This one's better. This one's from Jason A, YouTuber here. Let's put him on because I like to hear his report. Well, the compilations of videos he puts up is pretty cool. So let's watch it.
Donald Trump leaving the G7 early and returning to Washington, where he's requesting the National Security Council be prepared in the Situation Room after a deadly weekend in the Middle East. In Israel, 24 fatalities, 600 wounded.
Have to be back. Very important.
Good
I want
night.
to just thank our great host. He did a fantastic job. Thank you. In Canada. But you probably see what I see, and I have to be back as I can. We're going to have dinner with these wonderful leaders, and then I get on the plane. I have to be back early for obvious reasons. I loved it. I tell you, I loved it. And I think we got a lot done. Really a lot done. In fact, UK, we signed a big trade deal today, and we're working on others. But we had just a really great relationship with everybody, and it's really nice. I wish I could stay for tomorrow, but they understand. This is big. This is big stuff.
A little change to the president's schedule. As you know, he's been at the G7.
He's not going to cut his vacation with G7 for no reason.
President Trump had a great day at the G7, even signing a major trade deal with the United Kingdom and President Keir Starmer. Much was accomplished. Here is the important part here. But because of what is going on in the Middle East, President Trump will be leaving tonight after dinner with heads of state. This comes just about an hour after he encouraged an evacuation out of Tehran. We'll keep you up to date with the latest.
As President Trump has posted this ominous message to Truth Social that concludes with the statement that everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. This, as U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says, additional resources are being moved into the CENTCOM area of responsibility. Our Pentagon team reports that those additional resources are coming in the form of refueling tankers, which are being moved to Europe so they can aid in the efforts here in the Middle East. Also, we've earlier confirmed that the USS Nimitz carrier strike group is being moved to the Middle East earlier than expected. The USS Nimitz is the oldest aircraft carrier in the U.S. fleet, and quite possibly this will be its last deployment or major deployment. Meantime, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel reports, or boasts, I should say, that his fighters enjoy air superiority in the skies over Tehran.
אז זה הדיווחים האמריקאים שיש עכשיו. טראמפ צפוי לחתום ממש בקרוב על צו נשיאותי להצטרפות של ארצות הברית למלחמה. יש גם דיווחים שארצות הברית בעצמה כבר תוקפת בטהרן. ראינו את הציוץ שהוא פרסם ממש עכשיו. איראן הייתה צריכה לחתום על העסקה שאמרתי להם איזה חבל ובזבוז של חיי אדם, ושים לב עודד, גם הבית הלבן וגם החשבון של דונלד טראמפ סימנו, מרקרו את המשפט שכולם צריכים להתפנות מטהרן.
Trump is giving him time to evacuate.
מאוד מאוד משמעותית בשעות הקרובות שהאמריקאים, אנחנו רואים אותם כבר.
I mean, at least he's giving them a heads up,
לכיוון
man.
המזרח התיכון.
He's trying to save as much lives as possible.
ומטוסים באופן כללי לכיוון
You listen
המזרח
to him,
התיכון,
you want. If you don't, you know, that's up
ולהיכנס
to you.
למלחמה באופן מאוד מאוד
But this
רשמי.
man's trying to save
זה הכל
lives.
דיווחים מאוד מאוד ראשוניים, אני מקווה לעדכן בשעות הקרובות חדשות נוספות.
אז ליבי, גם את לא הולכת לישון היום.
אני לא הולכת לישון אף פעם.
עד כדי כך, וואו. אז את באמת גיבורה, אז ליבי, אנחנו צריכים לדעת את כל הדברים מדויק. לא, אני לא רוצה ב-98%, רוצים ב-100% לדעת, לבשר לצופים שארצות הברית כבר תוקפת בטהרן יחד איתנו, והיא כבר יד ביד עם ישראל, לא רק בדיבורים, אלא גם במעשים, לא רק בעזרה בנשק, אלא ממש בלחימה ממש, כמו שאומרים. תודה רבה, ליבי, שהיית איתנו, ואנחנו נחזור אלייך בהמשך. מה, אליהו?
Exclusive satellite images revealing the location of a previously unknown Iranian nuclear site. Now, the facility spans nearly 2,500 acres, and this is a big discovery. Jillian Turner has more from the State Department. Good morning, Jillian.
Pretty explosive, Dana. These satellite images that we have obtained exclusively show the alleged site location and even the layout of the secret, previously unknown nuclear weapons facilities inside Iran. This, of course, raises fresh concerns about the regime's role in these ongoing nuclear talks with the Trump administration. The National Council of Resistance of Iran has collected intelligence from sources on the ground inside Iran that locate this nuclear weapons facility in what is called Semnan province, far from the regime's already known nuclear sites. It's codenamed the Rainbow Site by Iran's officials, and it spans nearly 2,500 acres. It's been operating as far as we can discern.
He added in all caps in his Truth Social post, quote, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, emphasizing a red line he has issued again and again and again. Now, this comes as Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth confirms that defensive capabilities have been moved to the Middle East. We learned from Reuters earlier in the day that was to give the United States, quote, options. And there's dramatic new footage of the conflict that continues to pour in like this moment. Watch this.
You're going to be in the Situation Room pretty soon with the president. Is he still aiming for a nuclear deal with the Iranians?
Of course. The president's, as he said today, his position has not changed. What you're watching in real time is peace through strength and America first. Our job is to be strong. We are postured defensively in the region to be strong in pursuit of a peace deal. And we certainly hope that's what happens here. And America first means we're going to defend American personnel and American interests. So when you see jets and you see air defense assets and counter UAS assets, that's because my job as the Secretary of Defense is to ensure that our people are safe and that we're strong so that we can set the conditions for a deal. And President Trump's made it clear it's on the table. The question is whether Iran will take it.
All right. So the deal is still on the table, but all options are on the table from what it sounds like. What does that look like?
What it looks like right now is we're vigilant. We're prepared. And we've messaged consistently from the beginning that we're in the region to defend our people and our assets. And Israel took an action out of self-defense. We believe that Iran, as President has said from the beginning, should not have a nuclear weapon. That position hasn't changed. They can give it up peacefully. That position hasn't changed. And as a result, right now, we've got assets in the region and we're going to defend them. And we're going to be strong in the process. So people are reading into a lot of aspects right now. We're strong. We're prepared. We're defensive. And President Trump hopes there can be peace.
U.S. Secretary of State Blinken being in Southeast Asia this week.
Iran
actually, this year is the 70th anniversary of Eisenhower signing the U.S.-Japan
his
agreement.
Navy, his Marines, his,
Okinawa.
you know,
the U.S. is involved in
his
Venezuela,
peoples
Africa, Niger,
out at
and Mali,
sea,
apparently
the
against
submarines,
Russia, against
the
China,
warships,
against Iran. How prepared
battleships.
is the United
He
States
gave them
for
60
war?
days to get to that
Well, I would
area.
say at this point,
You know,
not
because it
terribly
takes
well
a
prepared.
while,
We're
you know, and out
stretched
in the
very, very
ocean
thin around the world. Our armed
to
forces are perhaps
get to these
smaller
destinations.
than they have been in
And if
decades.
they get there
Although having
and
said
they're
that,
getting
we
there,
have more general officers and
and then once
admirals
they get
than
there,
we've ever had in our entire
they're
history,
gonna
which tells you
start.
something about the
I think they're gonna go after. They're gonna go after
state
these
or condition of the
nuclear
armed
areas.
forces. Too many chiefs, very few Indians.
And I think the
I
B-2
don't think
bomber
we're
is
ready
going
to
to have
find
to
anybody at
be
this point who
activated.
is really capable.
And
And by that I mean,
I'm pretty sure
we
they're
have
prepping
focused
them
over the last 30
as we
years,
speak. They'll probably be prepped
certainly since 1991,
and getting all
fighting
the B-2 bombers prepped,
opponents without armies, air forces,
because
or
it's going to be
navies.
like
Certainly no air
that's going to be the
defenses.
true knockout
Now
punch
we confront the very
when
real
you have
possibility,
all these
not
B-2
only
bombers
with
coming at you
Iran
and
and
bombing
other
the
states
shit
in the
out of
Middle
the
East, and I
country.
would also add potentially Turkey at
And
some
that's the
point.
potential for things to
You've got
like
Russia
really
and China
escalate, but
interested in what's happening.
it could get to a
They're
point
not
that's
going to
going to be
sit
very
quietly on the
dangerous for the
sidelines if
citizens if they're
we
still
truly
there.
succeed in bringing on a very
You don't want
large-scale
people to
regional
die, you
war.
know?
And it certainly looks as though that's our goal.
That's wild. Jason, the good. He's been at it. He's been busy today. Like, yeah, keep it working. Let's go to. Let's see. I don't have too much, but we could go to. Let's go to this one. Let's see what this one is. It's a few hours ago. All right, give me a second to set it up.
Of Israeli political and defense forces, Israeli special ops veteran Aaron Cohen. Aaron, okay, we are now just learning also of a new wave of Iranian missile attacks on Israel. This, according, again, take it for what it's worth because it's coming from Iranian state TV, but this thing is far from over, correct?
We're not far from over, Liz. I'll tell you where I'm at with all this. The strike today, the strike that you just saw on the on Iran's television studio, their state-run media propaganda machine, wasn't reactive. That's a revolutionary hit right there. And Israel waited till they were on the air. And the reason why is because there's a big psychological piece here.
Yeah.
Israel picked the moment Iran thought it had the upper hand, let them get on TV and start squawking, and then launched a coordinated intelligence-driven takedown of that station. The IDF, just so you're clear, has wiped out a third of Iran's missile capacity in less than 72 hours. This is years in the making, Liz. Mossad teams already operating inside the wire, as we saw in that incredible operation, pre-positioned, intelligence gathering, mapping targets. This is what Israel does best. Intel-driven, preemptive strikes. Nobody does this better than us.
And as you said, psychological, we're showing this video where the female broadcaster is reporting live and the bomb hits. She appears to be okay, but man, the background, the backdrop goes out and you got pieces of the ceiling coming down. Psychologically, what has Israel's wiping out of the top echelon of Iranian leadership done? Because in a way, you've got a lot of Iranians who have been praying for this moment, correct?
Like in some videos, they're like, how the hell?
So here's how I frame it. Israel isn't just fighting a war with Iran. What they're doing right now, Liz, is they're redrawing the entire map of the Middle East. So there's going to be more of these deep strikes. There's going to be more psychological operations, which is a huge piece here. More monster moves that turn Tehran inward, Liz. We're going to play the paranoia game to fracture them and keep driving that fear. And so this is about reshaping who holds the power in the region, proving that Iran's little axis of resistance and their chest beating to Europe can be dismantled within days. And that's how quick this is moving.
So what do you think? Because sometimes when there is a void left, and let's just say the Iranian leadership skedaddles and jumps
Ukraine's looking at this, they're like, damn, we wish we could do this.
Right, and says, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
They wish they could do
religious
this.
tolerance, will that come? Political moderation.
Ukraine would never be
take
Israel.
these people into
I'm
the
sorry.
modern
They
world.
want to be so bad, but nope.
Well, it's a good question.
Our true
I
friend
think it's
is
time for a
Israel.
regime change.
Like,
I think
the
it's
United
time for the
States' true
Iranian
friend is
people
Israel.
to step
Even
up.
though they're good friends
There's a lot at
with the
stake
United
here.
States,
It's more than
but
just missiles.
they're not part of NATO.
It's who sets
They're
the
not a
rules in
member
the
of NATO.
region. The problem with the
They're
regime,
just
and they might
friendly
come to the
with some
table.
that
I mean,
are
Israel
with
will
NATO,
not
within
stop
NATO. But
systematically
there's always been an
thumping
alliance
Iran.
between
Liz, we're
Israel and
inside
the
their
United
head.
States
We're
that
behind the
if
wire.
Israel ever
We're
needed
playing with
the
the
United
Iranians
States,
at this point right
you
now.
have
It's
to be there
almost a
for them.
joke. Even though
Trump
Israel
is just being
has
very
got some
hesitant
defense they
because
have
they're
to
just
play, and we're
getting a lot
doing
of
our best
data. You gotta
to be able to
understand, the
protect
United
from
States is
hundreds
not
of missiles
stupid. They
being
don't rush into
launched.
shit.
The
Okay,
region
they're gonna
is
pick up
about to see,
every
I believe,
information
a
they can from
monster
satellites.
paradigm shift. And if Israel keeps doing
Let
what
me
it's
put this
doing, which
guy
it
on
is,
silent because
targeting surgical, hitting the IRGC where it hurts.
So let me just put him down. The video could play, and I could go. Yeah, this is gonna get wilder before it gets better. You know, Ukraine wish they had this weapons. Ukraine wish they could do this with Russia. Like they are foaming in the mouth watching this, probably pleasuring themselves. Nasty. Ugh. But this is disgusting. Like look at the rockets coming in, and a lot of some of these rockets are supersonic, and they're hypersonic, and they do really big damage. And I'm pretty sure they have warheads on them, which they blow up, and it's like it could destroy a whole block. And this has happened where you've seen scenes throughout Israel where buildings are gone, buildings are destroyed, people are dead. I know they're claiming 20 something people are dead. I think there's a lot more than that. They're claiming over 220 people are dead from Iran, and those numbers are going to climb even more. You got to see, like, you see what they did to Gaza. You see how Gaza looks, like how like it's like it looks like it's all this is like blown up. Expect that in Iran. And Iran is just all we could do is pray for them, right? Because I don't want the innocent to get hurt. I care about people, right? I don't hate Iran. I don't hate the people of Iran. I don't dislike Jewish people. I don't dislike people at all. You know what I mean? I just dislike assholes. It doesn't matter for which country you are. You're a fucking asshole, then I dislike you. You know, if you're a fucking weirdo and you're act crazy, then yeah, I don't like you. It's just weird, you know, but a lot of innocent people are going to die, you know. And if those people, like a lot of those people don't they have cars and stuff, but there's a lot of them that don't have cars. They don't have transportation. Like there's older people, there's elderly people, there's like senior people too, you know. They got seniors. You don't think they have seniors and children and all that stuff? Come on. Those people, they live poor. They you know, it is a beautiful country though. And with great opportunity, man. They have such good opportunity, but their fucking government really fucking sucks. And I think they're gonna try to replace the government. I mean, if they're doing this the way they're doing this for a reason, and it's to force out the Iranian government that's there now and be replaced with a different people, you know, different characters to fit the narrative, right? So it's crazy times, man. And like I said, you're alive. You're witnessing this history. Every day is history. If you're not paying attention, then you just missed it. But there's a lot going on. And you got to understand, if the U.S. moves out of the China Sea and brings their ship closer to Iran, that's going to be perfect opportunity for Japan, like for China to go after Taiwan. Like perfect opportunity. China could be like, you don't have protection, bitch. And they're gonna bring all their shit over to fucking overtake Taiwan, man. That would be wild if that's if World War III, fuck it. World War III, the rules is anything goes. Take as much land as you can and good luck. A lot of people are gonna die. This is how we're gonna lower the population. That's how this works. Have you been watching the Bilderbergs? They just had a meeting the other day. They had a meeting. Yes, they did. They had a meeting and they talked about like 11 different things. Oh, we could look at this. This is crazy from a protester. Where was this at? Protester. Let me click it here. Protester run over by moving car as fed up LA drivers have had enough of disruption riots. Oh, we gotta watch this. Okay, viewer discretion is advised. This is at downtown Los Angeles. Okay, and this driver has had enough. Now he's going through the drive-through with the people on his car. Watch and see. Let's put up the volume. Let me put it again.
An anti-ICE protester in LA has been brutally run over by a moving car.
Run her over big time. He got ran over.
Yes, the drivers of Los Angeles are fed up after weeks of
Wow,
protests
she got ran over.
disrupting their commute around the city. They've now resorted to
Oh, but you
Trump's
see this
Fatso
shit?
strategy, simply ramming the protesters if they refuse to move out of the way. Online
This is like,
commentators blasted the
where's
protesters
martial law?
for their selfishness.
Why
with
are these
this
people
person
doing
saying,
this and they're not
"I'm
getting in
just gonna
trouble?"
go on record saying you shouldn't jump in front of moving vehicles. Is saying that controversial? This commentator agreed, saying people are reaching their breaking points. This will only get worse. A similar incident happened in Chicago over the weekend.
There's the red car
Get the fuck out of
that's
the way.
coming in, and you'll
Look.
see people trying to get out of the way, others standing in front, and others beating the car, trying to slow it down or stop it. And then you'll see the officer right there as it passed. There were officers lined up there, but the car was able to escape and then take off around the loop. And ultimately down, we tracked it all the way to Clark and Cicero, where our chopper Skywatch was unable to catch up with it. Cermak, sorry. And at that point, as we were talking live when this was happening, it is
Man,
really
I
hard to
would have
follow
done the
these
same
vehicles.
shit.
And again in California, where a driver pumped the gas after a group of violent protesters became physical with his car.
Oh shit. Run them all over. Yeah, play in the streets, get fucked up. Hey, the car. Listen, I don't blame the car. I don't blame the car. They were assaulting him. He was in danger of his life. He could plead very innocent and give it a pat in the hand. Did a great job.
And over in Seattle, a driver rammed through a group of protesters after they surrounded the car.
You see, it's all over the place. Look at this. Look at this. Look, even the guy fell down.
And whilst average citizens on
Look
the
at it.
ground are taking matters into their own hands to teach the protesters a lesson, the mainstream media are only fueling the fire by promoting the protests across the country.
Now, the CBS News
How the hell the
Network
World
has been
Cup is
called
going
out
to
for
be here next year?
promoting the No King's Day
That's my
protest,
question.
seemingly promoting their merchandise on their Twitter feed. You just mentioned the media, but how much responsibility do you think the media bear for the chaos going on in the US right now?
Well, at least they're not hiding it anymore. They're rampant bias and blatant partisanship when they're actually just promoting the merch of an anti-Trump protest. It's actually laughable, but at the same time, it's sad because, listen, I consider myself a journalist. The media plays a very important role, and they've discredited themselves with this kind of rank bias, and it's really unfortunate that they've chosen to squander their credibility with so much of the American public at the exact time when you have a president doing so much. Some of it I agree with, some of it I don't, but Trump is doing so much every day. You need an honest and fair media to report on it, but we don't really have
He's
that
working
these
so
days,
hard,
not in
like
large
harder than
part.
any American in
when
this
you've
country.
got the media stirring things
That's
up
how
the way
hard
they
that
do
gentleman
and
works
quite
every
often
day.
misrepresenting what's going on. We've all heard about the peaceful protests
Why
while
didn't he used to
rioters
be
are going
sleeping
crazy
every
in the
day?
background. Plus, politicians
He'll
ramping
wake
up
up for a few
rhetoric.
hours,
It's no wonder there's
babble
major
some
problems
shit.
there. Brad,
They're
thanks for
lost
joining
in
us tonight. Really appreciate
his
it.
closet.
And as well as the mainstream media, progressive celebrities joined the disruption, which only encouraged the lunacy further.
Remember Kamala and that sham process? We certainly do. And there were plenty of celebrity idiots at these rallies, including the dangerously stupid Mark Ruffalo.
Likes of Putin and Netanyahu
Oh,
and Kim
Lord.
Jong-un of the world.
Also at the rally were the likes of Susan Sarandon, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Glenn Close, and the unfunniest man on the planet, Jimmy Kimmel. Sadly, Eva Longoria couldn't be there, but she recorded this message earlier.
Every time I try to record a message, I just start crying, and then I don't want it to be about me and my emotions about it, but it's just so inhumane, hard to watch. It's hard. It's hard to witness from afar. I can't imagine what it's like to be in Los Angeles right now. I can't believe it's happening in Austin, Texas. I can't believe it's happening all over the country. The comments and people's reactions to it is really so surprising to me because it is un-American.
She's shocked by people's reactions. These people really do exist in a parallel universe. The deportation program, as we discussed at length last week, is enormously popular. Trump campaigned on it. He won on it. He has a mandate. And the group who have swung most strongly in support of his tough immigration policies are immigrants themselves, legal ones.
And in a bizarre twist, it's not only the fed-up drivers turning on the riders, but the rioters are turning on themselves.
But the question has to be asked, what is it with Democrats and violence? They cannot even hold a dumb democracy-denying rally without turning on each other. Let's check what happened in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh my God, that's a gun. That's a gun. Come on. Come on. Get out. Get over here. Shay, come here.
According to police, a man who was believed to be part of a peacekeeping team for the No Kings protest shot at another person at that rally, Arturo Gamboa, who was brandishing a rifle for some reason. And this No Kings peacekeeping team member managed to strike both the rifleman and an innocent bystander who tragically later died at hospital.
That's crazy. That's just wild. Hold on, let me see. I have another one here somewhere. Let's check out this. Before we do that, hold on. Let's see this one here. This is a quick one. It's only like 2 minutes.
And now to the latest on President Trump's immigration crackdown. He may be starting to ease up on deportations.
New orders reportedly telling ICE to avoid roundups of farm workers and other industries that rely on migrant labor. Local 10's Glenna Milberg has the latest now from Homestead. There you are. Hey, Glenna.
From the fields, Calvin, Nicole, in these fields, they were expecting at harvest time nothing less than a crisis because of those deportation orders. These huge industries in South Florida, though, these are among the president's biggest supporters. And now this week, it appears he listened to them.
Growing crops, growing buildings, a presidential pardon of sorts for the critical South Florida industries that rely on migrant workers despite their documentation.
We're going to have to do something about that. We can't take farmers and take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to have, maybe not.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What protests didn't do, the business lobby did. The president quoting farming and hotel and leisure execs on this Truth Social post. The aggressive policy on immigration is taking good long-time workers away and impossible to replace.
It's time that we reassess.
South Day
Well, if they have work
Carlos
permits,
Jimenez and his
they can
two
stay. But if
GOP
they're
and
illegal,
state
they gotta
colleagues
go.
under intense pressure from the immigrant-rich communities they represent,
Hello?
reeling from the atmosphere of mass deportations. They met with DHS Secretary Kristi Noem last week about it.
They may need to find a way to keep them here and employed. I think we need to go further than
Yeah,
that.
if they have
And
work
we will
permits.
continue to push
Hello?
the administration to
If they have a work
get that
visa, they
pendulum
can
to
stay.
swing back.
What's the problem? They can't get work visas?
The president directed a memo to regional immigration offices to stop work site enforcement on agriculture, meatpacking, restaurants, and hotels, and hints something more detailed and official to come.
We're going to have to use a lot of common sense on that.
What that common sense, what that policy is going to look like, it's very hard to tell at this
Why is she
point, but
doing
it
in the
does
crop?
look like
Get out of
South
the crop,
Florida's
lady.
biggest
You're gonna fuck up
industry
the
labor
corn.
forces may well be protected from the deportations going on around them. I'm Glenna Milberg, live in Homestead today. Local.
You don't understand. Those crops have a lot of bugs all around it, right? And she thinks she's Children of the Corn for some reason. How the fuck did she turn into Children of the Corn? I'm waiting because she's like Children of the Corn. Like, get out of here. Let's go back to this one and watch. It's the continuation of Life Now from Fox.
Let's bring into the conversation right now assistant professor at UT Austin, focusing on Middle East politics and Iran, Dr. Nahid Siam Doost. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. And President Trump is saying that within the last 10 or so minutes, saying everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. Should they take that literally?
She's so corny.
I mean, it's a very disconcerting message, and it's also a confusing message because Tehran is a city of something like 15 million people. It kind of expands and during the day, but it's up to 15 million people.
Yeah,
and so evacuating Tehran doesn't really make any sense. Where are 15 million people supposed to go? That is, of course, from the Gaza playbook of trying to push people into spaces that are really not tenable. And it's also disconcerting because what are the plans? Are they about to nuke Tehran? Why should everybody evacuate Tehran? Because the Israelis so far have said that they're only attacking and targeting military and nuclear sites. We know this is not true. Having family and friends in Tehran and across Iran, they have attacked many civilian sites, but this is an extremely disconcerting message from the president.
All right, very good. I just wanted to get your take on that, your perspective on that. And this is also coming in from the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, saying over the weekend, I directed deployment of additional capabilities to the United States Central Command, protecting U.S. forces, top priority. These deployments are intended to enhance our defensive posture in the region. I do want to talk about what we've seen over the last week in terms of
it's all about
the escalating nature between Israel and Iran.
Earlier.
Let's talk about Iran in this. And of course, we're talking about the stability of it. How unstable is it in Iran compared to just a week ago?
It was crazy.
I think the governmental structures are certainly less stable simply because Israel has taken out a lot of the top military commanders as well as nuclear scientists, and it's been targeting political officers as well, such as one of the top negotiators or the person in charge of mediating between Iran's negotiating team and Iran's supreme leader. And so Iran certainly looks less stable a few days. The government looks less stable a few days after these attacks started.
All right, very good. I want to ask you, because we also heard reporting over the weekend that President Trump vetoed a plan by Israel to take out Iran's supreme leader. In terms of that, a regime change, is that something the Iranian people want? Is that something that could help them? Or what do we view in terms of that? Would that make it even more unstable?
It's a very complicated situation right now. Iranians are really in a difficult position in that, for many years they have been thwarted both by their own government as well as by U.S. policies from bringing about reforms and changes from within. But they've been working away at it day after day, working hard to imagine their own future and really, design their own future. And so now this moment has come where once again we have a foreign power coming into the Middle East and trying to bring regime change to a people and determine their. And as much as Iranians are not happy with their government, they do not want, the majority of them do not want to have an Islamic Republic. They certainly do not want to have a foreign power come and determine their future for them. No less, Prime Minister Netanyahu, who has for the last 2 years been waging a war of annihilation against another people, which Iranians have been witnessing from their country. So this is not a particularly happy moment in any way for Iranians.
All right, very good. I want to ask you, because this is an area that you study so very frequently, being from Iran, how much has the culture, how much has Iran changed in just a few short time? And can a regime change bring back something that happened pre-1979?
I mean, that is the fantasy from the U.S., and it's definitely the fantasy from Israel to have a pre-1979 Iran with, Reza Pahlavi as the crown prince to become the leader of Iran. But Iran is a modern country. It's a modern society with highly educated people. This would be like asking if the U.S. wants to go to pre-1979 U.S. No, Iranians have, they've advanced nearly 50 years beyond, and they imagine for themselves radically egalitarian and democratic societies, far more progressive than what we see in the US, right? Because that is what they've fought for during the Women Life Freedom Uprising in 2022. And so these outside forces with their weird imaginaries of some kind of pre-1979 Iran, that doesn't really gel with the majority of Iranians.
In just terms of this, you talk about that, wanting to be independent and whatnot. Do people in Iran want the U.S. to step back and let Iran and Israel hand it for themselves? Is that something that interests the people?
No. Prime Minister Netanyahu has shown that he's bloodthirsty. He has the blood of tens of thousands of people on his hands across the Middle East. He's attacked Lebanon, he's attacked Yemen, he's attacked Syria. He's attacking all the countries around Israel, all the while pretending that these are defensive strikes or preemptive strikes against other nations, while he is the one who's really bringing destruction to the region. So Iranians do not want to be left alone with Israel. And this is not because they have a love for their own regime, but because they have seen Benjamin Netanyahu's destructive forces across the region. And so they really would like the U.S. to step in for President Trump, who they do happen to like, to step in and mediate. They want him to stop Netanyahu from wreaking havoc.
And then would that mean a deal is more acceptable for the Iranians in terms of the nuclear? Because we've seen President Trump in social media saying that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Is that something that would be more encouraging to see a deal come to fruition about this in some regard?
Absolutely. And, even the Iranian government itself has said that it's not seeking a nuclear deal. And so to have, not a nuclear deal, but nuclear weapons, even the government itself has said so. And so I apologize for that. And so, and the International Atomic Energy Agency has been monitoring Iran for 2 decades. And it has been able to certify along the way that Iran has not enriched and is nowhere near to having a nuclear bomb as such. It's still about, I think they've enriched uranium up to 60-something%. And so Iran was in peace talks with the Trump government. And so Netanyahu just seized this opportunity to break off those peace talks because Israel fundamentally does not want for Iran to have a peace deal with the US. For Israel, it is, especially for its current prime minister, it's extremely convenient to have this war on his hands because his popularity was sinking in his own country with the war that, with the failed war in Gaza, where the 2 main goals were to eliminate Hamas and bring back the hostages, and he's done neither of those two goals. And so he's really just started this war, one, to prevent peace between Iran and the US, and two, to increase his own popularity, which apparently is happening because Iran has been built up over the decades by Netanyahu himself as this huge threat to the Israeli nation, and they've all bought the script, and they are behind him right now.
Back to work.
And that leads me to my next question to talk about perception, to talk about communication, because we saw the Iranian TV during a live broadcast, a state television reporter saying the studio was filled with dust after an explosion occurred, a missile landing there nearby. Well, how do we view that? How do we view the communication lines, and how much of a strain does it put on just the word getting out in terms of this when that sort of thing happens?
It puts a huge strain. And, you know, the state television Iran is the state's propaganda machinery, right? This is a very difficult moment for Iranians because, you know, they're torn between seeing some of these events happening, which is, you know, the bombardment of that state television studio, which kind of, you know, a lot of Iranians probably liked seeing, because over the years, that's been the propaganda system of the Islamic Republic that has fed Iranians propaganda and disinformation in the face of all things, and they've known it. But at the same time,
do that to CNN.
Knowing that this is happening from abroad again by the Israeli forces, that is problematic. And it does put
don't let me keep going.
For sure, in great peril as far as the Iranian government is concerned, because that is the main way through which the Iranian state communicates with its own population. So that video of the bombing, although they have said that the programs are back on, and that, you know, they took a hit and within half an hour we're back on air again.
All right, very good, Dr. Nahid. Thank you so much for joining us. Any parting words, any more thoughts that we might not have gotten to that you want to share with our audience before I let you go?
Just that I hope that Americans join Iranians
we got solar flares coming in,
and in bringing greater peace to the world, and not greater war and destruction and death. The Easterners have seen enough of it. There's too much of it in the world, and that we all be God's servants
towards
for
the
peace.
United States.
All right, very good. And that's what President Trump has said, that he wants to save lives. That is the goal in terms of negotiating and working out peace deals in so many regions around the country, around the world. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate your time here on Live Now from Fox.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's the push. Let me take this off here. She looks weird like that. I'm sorry. She just let me fix it, but I put her in a weird position. Oh no, Rick, what did you do? I was like, listen, that's how I started. So yeah. The energy, that's why the solar flares are reacting to the people's energy. We're gonna get big energy coming towards, and man, I'm so sensitive. That's why I've been getting headaches. Maybe it is because of this fucking solar flare. Because the last solar flare that happened, I was getting headaches, man, and that Northern Lights and all that stuff, and I'm like fucking with headaches, man. I just didn't feel good, man. And there was a big explosion in the sun about a day ago, and the energy is here. And that's why I'm getting a headache, because I was wondering, what the fuck? I got this headache, man. And I had a headache, and I was like, oh, it's the fucking solar flare. The energy. I'm real sensitive to that energy. So that really sucks. But let's watch the CNN crap, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Trump warning moments ago, and I quote him, everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. As Iran is warning that a ninth wave of attacks against Israel is now underway and will continue until dawn. This is now the fifth night of attacks between the two countries. And just moments ago, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth posting on social media, and I quote, he said, I directed the deployment of additional capabilities to the Middle East region. So what does that mean? Now we know that the U.S. Navy Nimitz carrier strike group is already heading towards the Middle East right now, and more U.S. naval assets capable of defending against ballistic missiles are expected to be moving into the Eastern Mediterranean, closer to Israel in these next coming days. The latest Iranian attacks coming after the IDF released these new images of Israel destroying what it says are two Iranian fighter jets. And earlier today, An unbelievable moment unfolded live on Iranian state television. Let me show it to you.
فضای غبارآلوده استادیوم
I mean, it's stunning to even watch that. Israel hit the headquarters of Iran state media. Now, the IDF said that this wasn't a mistake. They said it was a precise strike based on intelligence that the building was being used for military purposes. Now, an Iranian source sent me these letters that Iran sent to the Secretary General of the UN and the UN Security Council earlier today, in which Iran demands immediate action following what it calls Israel's, quote, deliberate attacks on Iran's nuclear facilities. And the letter goes on to demand that the UN, quote, hold Israel and its accomplices fully accountable. Now, the accomplices, the use of that word is a very thinly veiled reference to the United States. But while the U.S., of course, backs Israel at this point, clearly the two countries are not entirely on the same page, as sources tell CNN, that President Trump opposed an Israeli plan to assassinate the supreme leader. But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu refused to take that option off the table today.
It's not going to escalate the conflict. It's going to end the conflict.
Lauren Lieberman is out front in Tel Aviv to begin our coverage. And Oren, what is the latest that you're learning? As we understand, Iran is saying that missiles will be coming to where you are from now all the way till dawn.
Well, we at least got some sense of that. Just a short while ago, we had to run to the bomb shelter downstairs in the hotel about 1 hour ago, where we spent 20 minutes there because of warnings of more incoming, including here to Tel Aviv in the heart of Israel. At least according to Israel's emergency responders so far, like Magen David Adom, there were no impacts. So either those missiles were intercepted or weren't able to strike the targets and hit in either military or residential areas. That being said, it's 2 a.m. here, so there are at least 4 or 5 hours until dawn. And we saw missiles incoming at about 4 a.m. last night. So there's very much the potential for more ballistic missiles and more drones as the night goes on here. Meanwhile, as you pointed out, Israel has continued its strikes in Iran and in Tehran. In addition to hitting Iran's state broadcaster, they took out 2 aircraft on the ground and have continued to go after other targets as well. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said so far Israel's strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities have set the nuclear program back many, many years. He wouldn't give a specific number on anything like that, how much they really have damaged the nuclear program. But Israel's former defense minister told CNN earlier today that it was some years that they had set the program back. Meanwhile, there are rising casualties on both sides, 24 killed so far in Israel. Meanwhile, a much higher death toll in Iran, 224 killed there. And it doesn't look like this is going away anytime soon. Iran has vowed it will not negotiate under attack. Meanwhile, Netanyahu spoke of what he called, quote, complete victory. That is a phrase we've heard in the war in Gaza, which is past 600 days now. And this fight, although it's incredibly early here, shows no sign of an off-ramp right now, no matter what President Donald Trump promises about perhaps finding a way to end this conflict, quote, soon.
All right. Oren, thank you very much. Live in Tel Aviv. We'll be checking back in with you this hour. Out front now, Ophir Akunis, the Consul General of Israel in New York. And Consul, I really appreciate your time. So just start with, President Trump had said, okay, he's going to come back from the G7 and he's going to get this over with. But then he also said Tehran should be evacuated right now. Just to take that statement, that one statement, Tehran should be evacuated right now. Is he right?
I will tell you, 1 hour ago, they fired 10 ballistic missiles toward our civilians. Now they want a ceasefire after almost 50 years of saying that they want to destroy us. Now we, for your question, we will accomplish our 2 goals. Destroy their ballistic missiles and nuclear capability. And that's what we are going to do, even if it will take weeks.
Even if it will take weeks. Okay, so I just want to understand, as everyone wants to understand more on what this means. So ballistic missiles, nuclear program. Let's talk about the nuclear program.
Exactly.
We've got the latest satellite images of Fordow, which of course is one of the main nuclear sites and the one that is at least known to have substantial assets deep underground, which was done in order to prevent Israel from bombing it. It's buried deep in the mountains, 300 feet or more underground, as we understand it. Okay, we understand, analysts keep telling us, it is the U.S. that has the so-called bunker buster bombs that have the ability to destroy an asset of that sort, and only the U.S. But I ask you, can Israel destroy the Fordow site and that deep nuclear capability without U.S. help?
Yeah, first of all, we will not take decisions for the American administration. We will do whatever we can, and we are doing it to prevent the Ayatollahs to hold a nuclear weapon. This is the most dangerous thing to the Western civilization, and I'm talking about this studio, this place, this city as well. So we are trying to do it. We are doing very well until now. We want, first of all, to defend our people from their missiles and from the nuclear weapon plan. This is very dangerous to the world and to Israel as well, and we are doing whatever we can to prevent it.
All right, so I am just curious, though, when your prime minister says that the strikes so far have set back Iran's nuclear program a very, very long time, many, many years.
Exactly, quote.
Why is that not enough?
It's not enough because we suppose that they are trying to progress their plan, even though it's almost a week that we are there during this operation. We are not counting on them. We must be sure that we'll accomplish our two goals, and we are not sure yet about the nuclear sites. We want to be sure about. I suppose that there's more than two, but you mentioned the two of them, and we want to be sure that we'll accomplish our goals, and then we can say, you know, what we can do with the Ayatollahs. We're not talking about the Iranians, Erin. We're talking about the Ayatollahs. That's right, exactly.
Consul, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Erin.
All right, and I want to go now to the former Defense Secretary and CIA Director Leon Panetta. And Director Panetta, you just heard the Consul General there from Israel saying that many, setting back many, many years, right? That is not what the goal is. The goal is more than that. They want to get rid of the capability of a nuclear weapon for Iran altogether. And also then he also made a distinction that it was beyond that it was also getting rid of the leadership of Iran, of the Ayatollahs. What do you hear when you hear that?
Well, I hear two goals that are going to be, frankly, difficult to achieve unless the United States goes to war with Israel, which is not likely. But the fact is that to go after their nuclear capability, you've got to be able to go after these deeply buried facilities at Fordo that can only be attacked with busting weapons that the United States has and be delivered by a B-2 bomber. So to totally be able to wipe out their nuclear capability is just not going to happen if it's left to Israel on their own. And with regards to regime change, I think the problem there is that it isn't that easy to achieve in Iran, that you can undermine their command structure, you can go after their nuclear scientists, but the fact is, even if you go after Khomeini, there are going to be other hardliners that will take their place. So I think Israel has to think about just exactly what it is that they're trying to achieve. If they're trying to weaken Iran, that's an achievable goal. Beyond that, I think it's going to be difficult.
So specifically regarding the Ayatollahs, and let's just talk about the supreme leader, right? The leading Ayatollah, Khamenei. And Prime Minister Netanyahu said killing him would not escalate the conflict. It said he would, quote, end the conflict. It sounds like you disagree with that assessment.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that getting rid of Khomeini is not going to suddenly result in regime change. That's the bottom line. You're talking about the Quds Force. You're talking about a lot of hardline commanders that are still very active in Iran. And the fact is, the more Israel bombs Iran, the more the Iranian people will be concerned about trying to protect their own Iran against Israel. So when you look at all of these other factors, the bottom line is that achieving regime change is not easy to do, cannot be done simply by killing Khamenei, and frankly cannot be done simply by the kind of missile attacks that are going on right now.
All right. So that was the last. Let me bring it back to me here. Give me one sec. Let's close that out. Bring me back on here. Make me big. All right. Well, that's the end of the show because I need to get to bed. It's already past midnight, so I'm tired. I bet you guys are tired too. It's going to be a while, next few days. Energy's really high. The sun let out some solar flares, so we'll definitely be feeling it for the next few days. Just the energy is really hyped, so stay away from groups, stay away from stupid places that you shouldn't even be at, and keep your eyes 360 all the way around. You know, it's just really unique times, but have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you're located. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. And it was a good show. I had a good time. I was tired, but man, those cards, man, that the Star Wars cards really got me today. I that was the force right there. It was letting me know, listen, Rick, this is what you're capable of. I'm like, damn, that's what's up. That's really cool. I really like that. So hopefully gonna wrap up the show already. No, I'm gonna come back on here. But it was a unique day. The movie was good. I mean, it was a little cheesy at some parts. Like they had some graphics on the screen, like on the movie. I was like, they could have done without this graphics. It looked kind of like cheesy. But other than that, it was pretty cool. The story was pretty cool. You know, I think I'm probably watch a couple of movies that are going to be coming out. I'm definitely going to be watching Megan 2.0. I'm going to watch Megan 2.0. And then I'm also going to watch Superman, the new one. I'm going to watch it just to give like a review on it. To see, you know, give my honest opinion about the movie. Karate Kid is just an interesting, cool, you know, overcoming your bullies and, you know, and at the end being the bigger man, which is pretty cool. But those are the two movies that I'm kind of interested in that's coming out like this month and next month. The Superman comes out the 11th, July 11th. But I get a day early peek if I wanted to, so I'm probably going to go see it on the 10th when it comes out for the preview, which is, I like that I get the preview. I get to watch it first. And then Megan 2.0, I'm watching that because she's a badass. I like Megan. Megan's badass. I want to see what she's up to. What game she's up to this time. That's the yawn of I'm going to bed. Have a good night, everyone, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully, we wake up and we don't hear crazy news, but the things are happening pretty quick, and Trump may authorize the bunker buster bombs. And the B-2s are the only the only way to like deliver those bombs is through B-2. There's certain ways that Israel could do it. They could adjust and put it on to their vehicles, you know, to their planes and shoot it. But it's nothing like the B-2. The B-2 bombers, oh man. They'll annihilate whatever they come across, and they got strong weaponries, man. The United States, they got some strong stuff, but the bunker buster came out. I saw it in action. I think I saw it in the Afghanistan more. I think they were going through the mountains and they were like blowing up the mountain pretty much. That's how strong these bombs were. It was so crazy, man. You got to look at it on YouTube. It's like, just type out bunker buster bombs and they'll show you videos. You get plenty of videos. You're like, holy shit. Like, put US before anything because they'll show you probably other countries, but put the USA like, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. The bunker buster bombs are really strong. And the US has one of the strongest, and they can blow up mountains. That's how crazy it is. But with that said, we'll see what's up tomorrow, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side again. Peace.